had a full off season this year. I think that's kind of the first one I've been able to have without doing camps or the fall league or anything. So it's been really good to get strength phases and power stuff in the gym, and then started hitting in December, early December, and yeah, I'm really ready to go.
How different will you be going into this spring as opposed to last summer, having major league experience under your belt? Is it night and day, or how different will it be?
I don't think it's different. I think we as a team do a really good job at just everyone going in there and competing for a position and a chance to play, on the big league team. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in there and compete and try to win a job.
With one big league season already in the books, what was your biggest point of emphasis to go ahead and work on in your off-season work?
I wouldn't say there was one thing in particular. It's really everything. That's kind of how I go about it. There's not one thing in my game that doesn't need work. So if I can hit everything, defensively, offensively, that's what I strive to do to try to get better.
Well, there's a significant amount of rule changes coming in 2023. You put in a lot of work to adjust to second base. How do you think the banning of the shift will affect you defensively?
I mean, obviously we're gonna have to see, really the layout of it all. Um, but that's something that I've been working on this offseason too is quickness and being able to have more range to get to balls that are further away now that I can't play all the way back to right field basically. Um, but that's we'll see how spring training goes with everything and kind of the rules of everything. But I think it'll be pretty good.
Where have you been working in the field this winter? Just a second, or you moved around a little bit?
I mean, just kind of everywhere in the field. I pretty much have the whole field to myself, besides people that are catching for me. So, I'll take ground balls at short to throw. Have longer throws. Third base have longer throws, stuff like that. Just kind of arm care stuff. But yeah, a lot of turns at second base.
As one of the guys who's worked with him a lot, Brandon Allen, bringing this.
He's awesome. Obviously, I've been with him for the last 2 years now in AAA, and he's a great person to have, in the cages, and his knowledge that he has of the game and of hitting is huge for us. I think he's going to bring a lot of energy for sure, and we're going to have a good chance to win with him in our.
You want to see maybe some approach balance between him and Turner, things where they each have strengths and kind of complement each other.
Right. Yeah. Both of them, I think, have a really good idea of swing mechanics, and the approach side of the game is huge. I think a lot of guys have their swing up here already in the big leagues, and those guys being able to help us with approaches and pitchers that we're facing and stuff, I think they bring a lot of that to the table.
Ollie talked about Turner Ward living and dying with every pitch. Like, he's very emotional, very vocal. Can you just talk about the injection of his energy as hitting coach?
Yeah, it's awesome. Last year we got to, when we were on offense, we were sitting right next to him. At least I was, and I know Donnie was. And he's always yelling out there to hitters, and it brings a lot of energy to guys. And it's a guy that you want to go to battle for. And he's a guy that is gonna put everything he has into this team.
You had some opportunities last year at the early about how difficult that can be sometimes. Did you learn anything about what that job is like compared to being able to go out in the field?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. I think there's a couple ways you can go about it. You can either stay focused the whole entire time and go get your reps in the cage in between innings before you get up, but kind of just watching Pujols and how he went about it, I think helped quite a bit. And he got done with his at bat, whatever happened. He went back to the cage, and probably the inning before his spot was going to come up, and he'd just get after it and kind of work on how that pitcher attacked him, assuming he was going to face that guy again. So just being able to learn from that previous at bat and take that down in the cage, and then be prepared for that next at bat.
Ask you about where you've been additionally taking most of your opportunities. So have you worked at all in the outfield this offseason, just as a little bit of extra
No, I haven't taken any.
Explosiveness and that scouts that you're doing.
Yeah, it's I mean, a little bit of the training side, but I mean, you can do it taking ground balls too. You know, just testing your range and having whoever's hitting to you just hit them as far away from you as you possibly can, and just trying to get to those balls. I mean, I think Nolan said it not too long ago. It might have been on a podcast or something, but he was talking about, you know, if he doesn't try to get to those balls, then he's never going to be able to make those plays. So yeah, sorry.
How do you look back on last? If you look at your power numbers, I would imagine consistency in which they came. Is that?
Yeah, for sure. You know, last year, if you look at the whole picture, to me, it wasn't amazing. But you know, if you break it down into different segments, there were some really good times, and there were some not so good times. And now it's just, you know, finding a way to get those not so good times to be a lot shorter and have a lot more better times.
As a guy that's always been like a regular player, middle order bat, what was it like to kind of have that adjustment where you didn't always know the consistency of what your playing time would be? How did that impact?
Yeah, it was a little different. Obviously, like you said, playing every day. You know, it's kind of what I was used to, but you know, it's something that you got to do, and you got to learn how to adapt to that. You're up in the big leagues. You got guys that are really, really good up here. So, you know, just coming to the ball field and bringing everything you have, and you know, trying to help the team win in any way possible.
Can it be more difficult though to kind of work out your struggles? Whereas if you're playing every day, you know, I can work on this tomorrow, and then maybe sometimes you might not go between a few days and not get to work on the thing that you thought maybe able to turn things around. If that makes sense.
It depends. I think you know, sometimes a day or two off might get a guy back on track because he can have those days in the cages to really work on, you know, what he wants to work on, rather than having to go out into the field and compete that night. And you know, if something goes wrong, then you might fall down another rabbit hole. You never know. So you know, just maybe something.
We talked several times during the season last year about adjustments day to day. You know, sometimes you're doing the toe tap, sometimes you're picking your leg up. How much did that teach you that it's everything's fluid and you have to constantly be adapting and adjusting?
Yeah, we're gonna try not to do that many different loads this year, but it is. You gotta adjust every day. You gotta, you know, adapt to how the pitcher's throwing that day. You know, it's that cat and mouse game that's never gonna end. So you gotta be able to be really good at it.
The team made clear that it was interested in adding left-handed hitting in the offseason. It didn't. Mo said this morning that the opportunity here may not have been seen as compelling from the outside because of folks who are already here. As a first-year big league player, do you follow any of that? Does that add to your motivation at all?
I don't really follow any of it, no. But you know, and like I said earlier, just gonna go out there and compete and try to win a job. You know, no job is already established, so got to go out there and do whatever I can to earn that spot.
I'm in the off season. You've been looking at video work from last year, actually reflected on it.
Not that. I mean, maybe a little bit in the beginning, just to kind of go off of, you know, this is where I ended the season and this is, you know, where I'm trying to get to. But after that, you know, last season is last season. I can't change anything that happened. So just got to move on and know what my game plan is going forward.
Do you study any other hitters that are similar to you in terms of their approach? Find maybe what works for them, what you could implement in your game?
Yeah, I mean, approach-wise, I think everybody has, you know, their different stuff. You know, unless I'm with a player and can talk to them, it's a little different. But swing-wise and mechanics and kind of the aggressiveness of some hitters, yeah, definitely can learn from that.
What's the one thing about playing at this level that you learned last year that you think you'll be better off for just by having experience?
I think really just being able to face the pitchers that are up here. Day in and day out, you see some of the guys quite a few times throughout the season, and I think that just it helps kind of you be able to learn, how they're attacking you and kind of what holes they're trying to expose, for you as a hitter. So I think just the experience of facing major league pitching on a regular basis is big.
You dropped weight when you went from third to second to be more agile, or have you tried to do any of that, or is it quickness, plyometric work, like you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, no, weight wise, no, there's nothing really changing there, but just power and output from the lower half and just being quicker. That's the main things.
Have you noticed it helping you so far, just when you're taking ground balls, you feel quicker?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How will the pitch clock affect you as a hitter?
We had it in AAA last year. I didn't think it was too bad. I just don't know kind of all the parameters around what it's going to be like in the big leagues. You just got to kind of get in the box and be ready to go. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure exactly how everyone will like it, but I know when I first came up, I was so used to it that I really didn't step out of the box and then realized I had more time. So it should be interesting, but we'll see how it goes.
So many of the storylines last year were about Albert, Yadi, and Wayno. So many great storylines. But this year, a lot of the focus, aside from winning, is going to be on this great group of young guys. Just when you look around the room and all the talent you got, especially in that younger demographic, how excited are you for the future?
I love it. Last year was awesome being able to experience all that stuff with Albert, Yadi, Wayno. It's, that's stuff that I'll be able to tell them, my kids, grandkids, all that stuff in the future. But looking forward now, it's going to be awesome. I've played with a lot of these guys that are here for the past 2 or 3 years, and I know what they're capable of, and I know kind of how we work as teammates, and having that ability and teamwork is really good.
Talked a lot about your defense, but what's been the main focus working in the cage this offseason? Are you still using Win Reality a lot?
I use Win Reality. It's not religiously, but yeah, I'll get on it a few times. But I guess in the cages, the main focus is just being in a better position to hit from. That was the main thing. I think last year kind of fell into a little bit of a funk where I wasn't landing in a good position to launch from, and caused some other things to happen that don't allow me to have a ton of success unless everything's perfect. So yeah, just being able to be more adjustable and have more room for error.